Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Ain't got one person on here. I didn't chance to let everybody know like I normally do, but it's third Thursday of the month, every month at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I figured I'd come on here anyways. Got me a handful of jelly beans here I've been eating. I didn't want to eat them online. Caused me to gulp. But it's been a busy day today, Doc. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a busy week. Been a busy past couple of months. I really ain't had time to make any videos. I have to fit them in when I can. So, other than that, I just got finished out there with that bench. I got to make that platform for that bench. So I did. I made that today. Started on it. And I won't be finished till sometime later this week, I guess. Well, today's Thursday. Tomorrow I'm gonna go over to Mama's and pick up her, dig up some her flocks, and bring over and put on the side of it. I got a pile of dirt I gotta get rid of. George, good to see you and happy Easter. Happy Easter to you. So I was just talking about building that pad for that garden bench I redid last year because the ground's so level. I want to get it to where I'm sitting level. And it just sinks in the ground because it just has them metal feet on it. So I finished doing that just a little bit ago. So I've been messing with concrete all day. Brent, hey Steve, how you doing? Happy Easter. Just had a rain shower here in Minnesota. Wow. I'm surprised it ain't snow. We had let's see what it's been 3 or 4 days since we had any rain. Yeah. It was last week, I believe. It might have been Monday morning. But from tomorrow all through next week, it's supposed to be right there pushing 80. It was 70 today, so it was nice. But it frosted last night? Yeah, last night it frosted. So I've been wanting to get on my garden, but I ain't had a chance. Well, it's not that I ain't had a chance. It's that every time I got a good day to do it, they put out a frost warning for everybody around here. So, and it's unusual we get frost this late. We have gotten one in May, but it's highly unusual. So I reckon I'll do it. I don't know if I'll get to it this week or first of next week. So, but we went today and got a couple of peppers and squash and cukes. So I'm looking forward to it. Used to when I was working, I used to do it last week of March or the first week of April every year because I had to. That's when I had one in the ground over there. Oh, really? Up here in Minnesota, it's dry enough? I know down in Carolina, where my granddad's at and my wife's from, a lot of times they have trouble with the field being too wet to get up in there. Of course, it's low and flat too, so that water just puddles there. But we don't have no trouble with that around here as a general rule. Out in Prince George and Dinwiddie, it's pretty flat, but it doesn't puddle in the fields much. Sometimes they have to hold up. But yeah, so I didn't make a video this week. Oh, I did make one, but I didn't like it. It was too long. It was 12 minutes. I don't like to make one over 10. I know my last two have been 11, but I didn't feel like remaking them, so I just let them go. And this in here, I just trashed. General rule, I like to go somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes. It's not too long, but it's long enough. Even I don't want to listen to myself for longer than 10 minutes. I don't know if y'all noticed, and I got me a haircut this week. It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? But so I got to thinking about old Coach Hoover and Dwayne. If y'all get a chance, if you haven't seen that video about my haircut experience, it's pretty funny. I get tickled when I look at it. But I had to think about them this time when I was in the chair getting cut up. So, but how y'all been doing up there, Brent? Okay, you been getting any bad weather other than that rain? Whereabouts in Minnesota are you at? Martin Cagle, how you doing? Clapping hands or happy hands? I think I told you, Brent, that I had ex brother-in-law lived up there. All right, Kiss Greatest Man is in the house. Now we can begin. Southern Minnesota, okay. Never been to Minnesota. Always wanted to go because supposed to be the land of 10,000 lakes, and that's what I was. I don't know if I was telling you, Brent, or if it was another guy. My ex-brother-in-law, he moved up there, and he moved in one of the few counties that doesn't have a lake. What are the odds? That's the way I would move. But and believe it or not, he grew up in Milwaukee. Big Packers fan. He's a big Packers fan. But yeah, I think the girl he remarried, she was from Minnesota, so they moved up yonder. Semi-retired, 31st of March. Papa Z. Pepper H. Hey, how you doing, Pepper? Semi-retired, March 31st. Well, that's good. You know, that was kind of my idea also. You know, when I talked about retiring, thinking about retiring, I thought maybe I'd get me a part-timer for a little while. Oh, I thought it helped me ease into it. You know, I wouldn't be fully retired, but I wouldn't be fully working either. But I was worried that I'd turn it into full-time before I knew it. So I didn't. Speaking of part-time work, I got my answer from Oscar Mayer the other day. Evidently, I'm not qualified to drive a Wienermobile. They sent me a rejection letter, said they was going with more qualified candidates. I've been driving almost 50 years. I would think I'd be qualified to drive, but and I was kind of looking forward to that. I thought it'd be fun, travel the country and driving a Wienermobile and giving little speeches at the daggone interviews at the local news stations and stuff. But no, evidently I'm not qualified. I got to have something to do. Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people are like. You know, I always have something to do, but I never run short of something to do. I haven't one day. Most days it's like this week. It's been too much. I just ain't been able to get everything in one day. But so oh, okay. Oh, Pepper grew up in southern Minnesota many, many, many years ago. Oh, that's great, Papa Z. We didn't have that option. A lot of people are able to do that. And well, the salary sometimes at the plant, they would go ahead and retire. Sometimes they'd keep them a little bit, and sometimes they'd call them back. You know, because they lost all that expertise, and they run into trouble, and they need them to come in for it, and they'll work a 6-month contract or a year contract or whatever. But they make good money doing that. But hourly, they just fill your spot and move on. Oh, you got an original weenie whistle. I never had one. Yeah, Joe Mom, I can eat their products. Had a hot dog the other day for lunch. So, yeah, I was I don't know, I wasn't too disappointed, but I really don't know that I could work another job, to be honest with you. I've gotten too used to doing things on my own time. And it makes things seem so great, you know. It feels like you don't do anything, or it feels like I don't do anything. It feels like I don't do a thing because I'm doing what I want when I want. And I enjoy that. I really enjoy that. So, I don't know, man. But blessed you are, Papa Z. Be able to get that. That's nice. But man. Oh, I got some pictures here. I thought I would maybe do a part-time after retiring for a bit. Turns out that it's not the case. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You know, I was worried about going part-time. I thought maybe I'd work it in a full-time automatic. It's just the way I would have done it. But then I knew that if I didn't go at least take a part-timer, I probably would never want to work again. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Oh, by the way, hey man, I didn't give a chance to give anybody a heads up about this. I have a live every third Thursday of the month, and at 7 p.m. Eastern. I never remember to say anything in the videos. Normally on Thursday I put out a community post or a little short reminding people, but I didn't get a chance today. Me and baby got up and run into town this morning, and then I've been outside fooling around the rest of the day. So, and I just picked a random day. It's something to break up the month and just have a little fun with, something different for me to do. And it's nice to hear from people to see how they're doing and what their plans are and all that other stuff, So, but oh yeah. Well, Brent would get a kick out of this. See if I can find it. There it is. Well, no, let's get a better one than that. There it is. Can you see that, Brent? That was from when me and my son went up to Green Bay years ago. I guess it's been 20 years about ago. Brett Favre was still playing then when we went. And the local boy, he played running back for him, William Henderson. So I wanted to make sure I went and saw him play. I saw him play in high school because he's just down the road here. But I didn't get to see him play when he went to North Carolina. I don't go watch North Carolina ball. Yeah, that would be something. You could take that Wienermobile down to the engine builder and put a new engine in it for him. Be a sleeper car. Yes, sir, Pepper. Or yes, ma'am. I'm not sure. But yes, it is, Pepper. It's been nice. It's going to be beautiful the next week coming up. Looking at the weather this morning when I got up, today was the last day in the 60s. I think it got to 70. It was warm out there. So, and it looks like that frost might be over with. So I don't know. But did you get frost last night? We didn't get it here. I think it was 30 when I got up, but it didn't frost. Oh, you like that, Brent? Yeah. Well, I went to school with I've said this before on another live. Fran Tarkenton's cousin. Well, actually, his cousin's son. That's who I went to school with. And Chip Tarkenton used to do the sports down here, and that was his brother. No, was he? Yeah, I think he was a brother. He was kin to him too. He's either a brother or first cousin. And so I liked Minnesota when I was young. Man, they had a team. It's a shame they didn't ever win that Super Bowl, but it was heartbreaking for a kid. Ma'am, okay, Pepper. Gonna start your garden? Yes, sometime in the next couple of days. I feel comfortable with the frost being gone. And the cool, we had some cool days the past couple of weeks. In the 50s, low 60s. And the night times have been in the 40s and 30s. And used to, I started it when it was in the ground then, earlier. But it's because I had to catch my long weekends, what I would do. And I put it in that last long weekend of the month of March, usually. or the first long weekend in April. And but now I can hold off if I need to. And honestly, the stuff don't do good until the temperature gets uh, consistently above 50, and you get it doesn't get down cold at nighttime. Once that ground warms up to about 50, then they really take off. You put them in March, and they just don't. They sit there is what they do. So I kind of wait. Cummins now makes a gasoline engine good for the winter. Yeah, I bet that would be. Scottish, former professional football. Running into the store. You guys need anything? You can give me some more jelly beans, Buzz. I just found some today. They're hard to find. Of course, we don't shop in nothing but a Dollar General, though. So and I ain't gonna give a ridiculous price for them. So I got me a bag today and made the baby run out. And I just had a few before I just opened the bag before I started here, and I had to stop eating them. All my seed starts waiting for last frost, May 15th in Indiana. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got some seed starts, just tomatoes. And I did put some more beans this year, started some beans, but last year I didn't get a single one. The deer eat them all. But I'm going to have to, because I let them climb that cattle fence. Of course, the deer were right there at the cattle fence. I'm going to have to, I'm going to put 2 stakes in the ground beside them bags. So I'm going to put them in 4. I just got 4 starts. Put them in them 4 bags there lined up beside the cattle fence. And I'll just string them. I used to do that when I was in the garden. I used to do that when it was in ground. They'd run up that string. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I'd keep it off that cattle fence so the deer won't eat them all. Some Easter chocolate, yeah. Dove Dark. John Force can make it a wheelie wiener. You know, he used to come here. NHRA used to have a race down in Dinwiddie. We got a drag strip down there, and they used to come every year. We used to go for the Friday. It ended up being my long weekend every year, and we'd go for the Friday night of lights. They would say that's when they'd have a drag car there. You get to see everybody on Friday. It's eliminations. First time I went, man, I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. That car goes down that track, man, and your guts are shaking. I mean, it's unreal. And when I was a kid, I used to love to watch it on TV. And I thought, man, it'd be neat to ride one of them, I guess it's Top Fuel, the rail cars, what I call them, with the long body on them. It's not a funny car like Forrest drove. And but because you get a pit pass, every ticket for NHRA is pit pass. And I went down there, and you walk around, you can see all the drivers, see them break the engines down and everything. And I seen how low them suckers were to the ground. You couldn't get me in one of them suckers. Not going 200, 300 mile an hour. Ain't no way. I worked with a boy that used to run a track up here over at the string factory. Yeah, just local. They have races every weekend up there. And he wrecked up there, killed him. He just got him a new 4-point harness. And but he loved it. He enjoyed it. But yeah, I enjoyed it too while going and watching. I mean, it's just unreal what them guys can do. Takes a lot of nerve to get one of them cars go that daggone fast that quick. Steve ain't got it, buddy. Have a great Steve. All the best to you and the great people. Yep. Cows pruning my peach trees. Yeah, my uncle had some cows up in Ohio. He had a pear tree right there in the front yard off the front porch. When my boy was little, I don't know, he was 5, 6, 7, something like that. Probably around 5. Because I don't know if he's in school yet. Might have been 4 or 5. And sometimes them apples would fall out of there and they'd rotten on the ground. And he'd tell my son to just throw them down the hill to the cows. Well, they'd come up to the fence. Jake would rear back and you could hear him thump. He was tenderizing them cows, Doc. He's hitting them right up the broadside. Thump. He enjoyed going up there. He got to throw the apples to the cows. He raised Simmental cattle. Man turns island into garden to grow 7,000 pounds of food for the homeless. I'm a dog. Huh. I know some people that have, I think it's in Northern Virginia. It's called a Red Wiggler. It's a teaching garden. They take in, they have a couple professional gardeners, horticulturists and stuff like that. But the actual workers are autistic, and they're teaching them a trade, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. They actually you can buy the produce. They have once a year, I think they sell off produce in like a box. You can buy a box, and it helps with the teaching and education for them. It's young adults is what it is. It's adults with autism. And I met him. He was actually a student of my little old lady over there when she lived back in the woods there. Her husband at one time. He was a student of his, so he'd come by once in a while. The Red Wiggler Farms or something like that. I don't know if it's in Maryland or if it's just in Northern Virginia. But so I thought about buying a box down, a grub from them, but you have to be local really because they don't ship it. You have to be able to pick it up on a certain day. New meaning to butt rash. Yeah. I don't know if anybody remembers or not, but on Wild Water Sports, they used to have because they'd show everything, barrel jumping and ice racing, motorcycles and stuff. But they used to have a thing where they would tow somebody around a track and he was sitting on like a tin cup. It was almost like he was skiing, but he was sitting on his butt. And they'd drag him around that track and sparks just flying off of him. I don't know what the purpose of it was. I don't know how to win it or whatever, if they scored you or whatever. But I remember seeing that a couple of times. So, I mean, but yeah, sparks, butt rash, yeah. Now I know who John Fallon is. Thank you. Oh, okay. They shut down the string factory? No. Actually, they started rehiring some people if they'd go back. Probably 10 years ago, but I didn't want to go back. Because they sold out and went under a new company. But they laid off, I don't know, 80-90% of the plant. They had one department left open when I left. And then they, about 10 years ago, they started opening departments back up. That department had, what it was a polymer plant. It was, looks like little plastic BBs, little bitty round balls. And it melts, and it forms, 50 or 100 tiny little strings is what it does. And as it cools off, it hardens back up. But at that time, you put a finish on it. It's kind of an oil, and that keeps it from getting hard again. So the department they kept open was making them little plastic BBs. They because it goes in like a case for your chainsaw, them plastic cases like that. They make shutters out of it. It's it's plastic is what it is. It's a type of plastic. It's polymer is what they call it. Stuff like that is what it goes in. So they kept that open, and they could supply other yarn manufacturers. Because the yarn we made the raw material like that. It was it depended on how you finished it or what you made out of it. You know, you stretched it, you heated it, you twisted it, or whatever, and it would go into different things. It's the cord and tires. The It goes in carpet yarn's the big one. It used to go in soft sided luggage. There's not much of that around anymore, but that was a big seller. Goes in concrete for a thickener, strengthener, junk like that. The waste goes to Barbie doll hair, believe it or not. It's the same stuff. But I call it string factory because that's what it looks like. One continuous line of string. Janitor on fire. How you doing? Smell awful. Sorry, Papa. I don't know what you're talking about. I must be talking to somebody else. But yeah. So I been busy, man. Been busy. I just ain't had a chance. Well, I had a chance. I don't know. I have to sit down and actually make a video. I don't, it just comes to me. And usually I sit down and make a video on it, but I can't really schedule one. I really like to have one. I usually like to do one on Monday and Fridays. One to start the week and one to end the week, but I just ain't been able to get on schedule. There's too much going on. You know, life happens. Melting polymer. Honestly, I never melted it. I was down on the take-up part. I caught it because they melted up on the third floor and they throw it down in pipe. And as it falls, it would cool off. And you'd catch it and string it up on the machine, string it up on a tube. But I didn't work in take-up specifically. I just took the package off the hook when they sent it to me and put it on the buggy. So, but I did walk in Syntex, department they called Syntex. That's where we made a lot of carpet yarn. You take in big packages and you bust them down in 4 little bitty packages. So I think it was 40-pound packages. Yeah, 40-pound packages is a big one. So, and that's where we'd stretch it a little bit and twist it and heat it. Depending on what roll it went around in the machine there. And that's what gives carpet yarn that kind of curly look, you know. That's what we did. And then you send it off to the carpet manufacturer and they dye it. So that's how you get the color for it. Southwest Louisiana, little Klondike Outdoors. How you doing? Hadn't seen you before on here. I don't believe, boss. I worked for Monsanto making tire yarn 50 years ago. Yeah, well, let me see. It was 05. So yeah, it's been right at, well, we got laid off in 04. So it's been right at 20 years for me since I made any carpet yarn or tire yarn. Joined my retirement watching stock market way too close. Yeah. You know, I check it every morning for the pre-market, and then I just go about my day. And I don't pay too much attention to it, but I do see when it drops like it did. So, I mean, I get my distribution once a year. I've already had my distribution months ago. So between then and the end of the year, I don't really worry about it too much because they ain't going to need it for another year. And I had a little life wrinkle. I don't even have to take any money out next year. So, because it's something I have to do next year that counsels me having to take any money out. And I'll be in an IRA next year, so I can choose whether I get it or not. So, but normally, no, I don't pay that close attention unless it starts dropping like this, and I try to catch a sale if I can. Hello, you happy bum. Swamp Rat. Hey, boss. How you doing? I hadn't been down to the river yet lately, boss. Well, I'll get down there probably. Next week's going to be a beautiful week for it. So I'll probably slip down there next week. I wanted to go yesterday, but we got tied up with something else. I just didn't make it. I'm trying not to watch much either. Yeah. It don't do no good. I ain't got no control over what it does. So it will bother you if you pay too much attention to it. I worked with a guy that he was going to retire the same year I did in 23, but 22 was so bad he hung in there another year. I didn't, and then 23 ended up being a great like it was. It'll make you pause. But I locked down my first 10 years, so I didn't really care what the market done. I was hoping it'd go up, but if it went down, we still could make it to Social Security. So that gave me a little bit of comfort. Fidelity said, dead people and those who forgot their accounts did the best because they did not touch them. Well, sometimes doing nothing is a beautiful thing, What was that Cool Hand Luke? Ain't that what he said? Sometimes nothing is a real good hand. I don't know. I know a lot of people have trouble with it. Mom and Dad used to worry about it when it went down. Well, I got less money than I had last month. Yeah, but you've been retired for 15 years. You've been making it fine, So I don't know. It's a hard thing to deal with. It is. It just is. I don't care why it goes down. It just is. And I was surprised that I had acted before I even realized it, because it was a concern of mine going in, what I would do. I knew what I wanted to do, what I planned to do, what was best for me to do, what I'd normally done. But you don't know how to react until you go through it. And I reacted without even thinking about it. So I got lucky. Does my children live nearby? Yes, they do. Right here in the same town. Not more than 5 minutes away, I guess. Caught some brim and a bass with it. Oh, okay, 10 card. Caterpillars were dropping from the trees. Off the Savannah River. Oh, okay. Has anyone been to George Washington National Park? Yeah, I have. You talking about, well, no, I take that back. I think it's George Washington National Forest. It might be George Washington National Park, and it leads into Jefferson National Forest. It's the way we used to go up to West Virginia, up Route 33. It's after you leave Harrisonburg, crossing over to the state line, going into, because we'd go down to Harrisonburg, catch 33 from there and go over towards Elkins. It's that's the straightest piece of road I ever been on in my life. It goes for, I measured it one time. It was I don't remember. It was like 7 or 8 miles. Nothing, but it got a creek running down the left side if you headed north, and the hillside and trees lining the other side. Just before you go up at First Mountain to go head towards West Virginia, take Route 33. That's Jefferson National Forest, but George Washington's somewhere around there. I don't know if it's a national forest or national park. I've been watching tutorials. Oh, okay. I'm buying up right now. I believe it will go back up soon. I don't know how soon it will be, but I do look for it to go back up. It might take a couple of years, but I ain't got nothing but time. So. And then, hey, man, if it goes back up just to where it was at, I make money. I don't make, well, yeah, I do make money because I bought when it was so low. So I like to get, I like to get about another 30 grand off of what I've already made off of it. So that'll get me back up to par. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You plan on going to George Washington National Park, John? It's like I said, I don't know if it was George Washington National Park or Forest. I know it was Jefferson National Forest, but I never heard of it if it was a park. I don't know where it would be. We've been up to George Washington's home up there in I forget, but that's where he's buried at. Him and his wife are buried down in there. We saw his grave. We saw the house too, Mount Vernon, isn't it? That's a nice place. It's a good little tour too. We've been to Jefferson's place too before. Those places ain't far from here, a couple hours maybe at the most. Sometimes the kids go on school trips, or they used to. DC, we used to go to DC in 6th grade every year. See the Smithsonian, junk like that. It's only a couple hours down the road. Yes, you're right, Steve. Next to Jefferson. Okay, I thought they were the same place because I remember seeing the signs for them. And I remember taking that long straightaway like that. See, my uncle in Ohio, he backs up to the Wayne National Forest. His farm does. It's all hillside. I don't know who that's after. Mad Anthony Wayne, maybe. We have a lot of great places up here, no. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Got a couple of Civil War parks up there I'd like to get to. Never been to them. But we don't go much. We go very often. Usually we'll stop somewhere on the way. You know, if I'm going down to Carolina to see my folks or see Connie's people. That's where we went to, I don't know, the lady married one of Mickey Rooney's wives. I can't think of what her name is offhand. But they got her museum down there. She had a little bitty waist. Wasn't no bigger than about like that. She ended up moving to France, I believe is where she died at. But she, her mama ran a boarding house. And there was a movie, I believe it was Gary Cooper played in it. Carbine Williams. Well, when he was in prison, his wife was a school teacher, and she stayed with that lady and her mama at that boarding house. I thought that was interesting. I can't think of the name of that girl. She was real popular, but she was back in that time zone. Primary at his plantation called Mount Vernon, located in. He also resided in executive residence, New York City. That's right. That's right. That's right. And he was all over this area because one of the plantations down there in Charles City. I'm not sure if it's Berkeley or Shirley. I think it's Shirley. But the first 7 presidents of the country had been down there one time or another. So he was just a few miles down the road. Lincoln probably walked through my backyard at one time or another. Grant, because he had headquarters right over at the park. So it was, and I know he was over at Hopewell. So, but we had, was it Benedict come through Hopewell too? I read a sign down there about it when I was down at Weston Manor last year. He marched through there. So, Shenandoah Valley, right. Okay. Yeah, that's you go up I think it's 81. They got overlook up there. It's either 64 or 81. I think it's 81. And you can see the valley down below there. That's nice. It's a nice little stop. Just stop there and take a look over the landscape. I believe I'm a bigger Kiss fan. We had a boy at work who was a big time Kiss fan. He still had his hair long. He said for Halloween when he was a kid, he used to go as one of them. So he knew a lot about them, man. I didn't care for the guy much, but I enjoy listening to your videos on my drive to work. I'm 37, hopefully 18 years left to work. Well, that's good. I hope so too. If you keep an eye out and think about things, man, you might be able to step out a year or so early. That's the way it worked for me. Great dispersed camping throughout the whole area. Oh yeah. A lot of trails up that way too. I don't know if Appalachian Trail goes through it or not, but I know it runs up the ridge there. Because we walked a little bit of it when the kids were real little. Well, I don't even know if we had my son yet. We stopped at one of them overlooks, and it said it was part of Appalachian Trail, but it could have been in another part of the state. Could have been further in Southwest Virginia than that part. So yeah, a lot of camping up there. We got guys at work. You always go over that way to hunt every year. They have a little camper up there near in a park near man, I'm losing my mind. It's that place up there near where the World War II museum is. Bedford, up there in Bedford County is where they go. There's a campground up there. They got a camper up there, and they go up there and stay for like a week or two at a time during hunting season. Were you? That's it, Pepper. You were a genius. I don't care what nobody else says. You're a genius tonight, Doc. Gene Simmons. Yeah, I used to like to watch his show when it was on TV. He's loaded, man. You know, he even had a casket. Kiss designed a casket. He was big into that daggone advertising or, products. He missed out. He said on that show that he missed out on the George Foreman grill, and he was ticked off because George had made so much money off of it. I think they said they offered it to him first. That's what he said on the show anyways. I don't know. Ava Gardner, that was it. Did you see his interview today with Micro? No, I didn't. Huh. I'm looking at joining the Boom Club. June 6th, last dog's birthday. I bought my first house, D-Day, and my dad's birthday. So I won't forget it. I'm a dog. Okay. License. Yes. Yeah. He was big on that stuff. Just wanted to make money off of his name like that. I was wondering what happened to you. Oh, I just goofed off this week. I had a lot of junk going on, so I didn't really take the time to make a video. I made one, but it was too long, so I trashed it. Normally, if I don't make one by Tuesday, I just forget it and wait till Friday. I don't over it much. I like to go Monday and Friday, but I can't guarantee I do that. In these past 6 months or so, life has really been a bear, so I've had a hard time staying on schedule. So I'm glad glad to ring the bell for you, Angela. That was good. I enjoyed doing that. Believe that or not, it's something different. It's odd, But I think it's a milestone everybody needs to celebrate in some kind of way. I didn't, but that kind of stuff ain't for me. I don't really want to party. We didn't even go out to eat that night, I don't believe. Yeah, I just kind of wanted it to be another day, and that's what it was for us. Too busy, yeah. Okay, Martin. Yeah, yeah, I was really ambitious on Monday. I can tell you that. I didn't get to half the stuff I wanted to do, and so I put stuff off to Tuesday. But it was cooled off Tuesday, and I said, "Man, I ain't going outside." Cooled off was, I think it might have got to 55 or something. When you're hit with 80 degrees for about a week straight, and then you get a 50-degree day, man, it screws with my mind. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I didn't do a whole lot then. Yesterday, me and the baby had some running to do, and it was a pretty day. Yesterday, I cut grass first time, and started weed eating, but it got dark on me. So I finished that up this morning. I put that pad in for them brick pavers for that bench, and then I had to come in and get cleaned up for the live. So I was a little busy, and not overly. Trust me, Doc. Steve's butt is never going to lack sitting in a chair. That was a thrill for me. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Merchandise and licensing. Yes, he was big on that. I mean, I think one of his rooms in that house had everything that he had daggone licensed. I mean, it was just unreal, the stuff he had in there. It was licensed as Kiss. He was smart, man. And and I heard one time on that show that he said that he was going to copyright money bags. I think it was. I mean, the emblem, I believe, the money bag emblem. I think he was going to copyright it. He couldn't believe it on there that it had never been copyrighted before. So I don't know if he ever did or not, but he had talked about it on there. Pneumonia weather sure is less than 50%. Oh, that's all right, janitor. Got to run. All right, Lynn, you take care. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I learned a lot about him watching that show, about his mama, her time overseas, how she come over here to give him a better way of living and stuff, and how much he really loved the country because of, what they did for his mama. I never knew all that, not about him personally, like that and his mama. I'm about 5-6 years away from retirement, but I'm starting to question if I'll make it with my 401k in the weddings. That's it. Keep trucking. I mean, that's all you get. That's the only option you got. For regular people, man, I can't go out there and I'm not gifted enough to buy and sell real estate. I'm not gifted enough to pick stocks either. I don't have ability to make a ton of money. I just don't. So all I can do is stick it in there and let it ride. So it sure beats taking it out. I can tell you that. If you take it out, then you question yourself when to get back in. Because you don't want to get in. You're always scared you're going to get in at the high point and automatically lose a bunch of money or whatever. I just steadily put away a few dollars every week out of my 401 and just kept doing it. I didn't care what the market did or not because I was still employed. If you got that weekly check or monthly check coming in from a job, it doesn't really affect you much because you don't need that money. But when you retire and you need that money to live on, it can shake a person up. I was surprised it didn't me, but it can. There's no doubt about it. But man, I'll be honest with you, when you get into retirement, man, you see things so different. I do. I don't lie to you. I don't care what it is I do. It don't feel like work. I don't care what it is. It's just me enjoying myself the way I look at it. Even Even the wintertime, it doesn't bother me like it did when I was working. I see it as like I did that little video on. It's a pretty time of year, man. It's cold, but it's pretty. It can be enjoyable for some. So, yeah, I tend to slow down, and I'm not really in a rush. And I feel good all the time. Kind of happy inside. You know what I mean? Not that I don't wake up sick or something once in a while, but I mean, your insides feel much better. You're less stressed, and stuff kind of rolls off your shoulders a lot more. I think, anyways. For me, anyways. I applied for Social Security the other day. It should start August or September. Well, that's good. That's a big help, man. Hey, man, I'd like to see people go as soon as they can, or if they're able to and they want to. But if you wait till you can get Social Security, if you can wait to 65 or 66 or 67 full Social Security age, that takes a big load off of you, especially at 65, because you can get Medicare. So that cures the two biggest problems a lot of people have is money and daggone health insurance. So if you can wait and you want to, you like your job, hey man, I think that's probably the perfect time, because you got to worry about all that stuff if you go too early. Send you my email about my retirement coming up on the 28th. Seems like it's taking forever. Okay, Kimber, I put you in line with a couple other people. Oh, you're on June 28th, though. I got a couple coming up. Sent me emails. I never replied to them, but I got them. I replied to them this weekend coming up. Everything is baby steps. Amortization for retirement. That's the way that's the way it worked. June 28th. That'd be the first Tuesday in July. That's when I ring the bell for June people. That'd be great. I got a couple of nice people coming up here. One of them's from down near where Connie's from. So I'm excited to holler at him. The last list on the cowbell, there was a ton of 55ers in there and the market drop. Wish this drop was last year. Hey, JNP 96, how you doing? 96 ain't when you was born, was it, JNP? I got my tea. Always got a glass hanging out. That's right, Angela. That's kind of the way it is. Stuff that used to ruin your day. I said it before that, going to work and you have a flat tire, or coming home when you have a flat tire. I mean, it would just ruin your night or ruin your day, whichever way you was going. And now something like that happens, it's not that big a deal. It's just something to do, I got trained on the autoclave over at the chemical plant from a guy. And that's what he used to always tell me. Just something to do, Bubba. Horse. Big old tall lanky fella. Strong though. Loved to pitch horseshoes too. He loved to pitch horseshoes. And that's something I wanted to do last year, is put me in a pit out back. I just didn't get to it. I got stuff stacking up like crazy. I'm going to need a stepladder to get over things now. One of my, let's see, 96. Oh, okay. See, our anniversary's coming up in another week. 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 6 more days. 23rd. 30, I think it'd be 37 for us. Yes, it'd be 37. Every day you work that you don't have to is a larger percentage of the rest of your life. It sure is. Sure is. People don't see that. Well, they don't think about it. I didn't think about it. But, you only got so much time. You ain't guaranteed any of it. I don't understand why people, I do. I do understand, but I mean, I couldn't understand it when I was working. How's that? Why somebody would want to be up in there if he didn't have to any longer? But it's a social place for some people. It gives them something to do, makes them feel like they're wanted or needed. Because when you get out there in retirement, man, you're kind of invisible. Older people are kind of invisible. I mean, that's just plain fact. And maybe if they have some kind of important job, they're the boss man or supervisor, H&R person or something like that. A lot of people really go off of take a lot of stock in what they were when they was working, and it makes it retiring hard for them. I think I got off easy. I was just a factory flunky. I run a machine. I was an operator, so it wasn't that big deal to me. I didn't have a title. I'm proactive equals happy anniversary. Oh, okay. Good night, all. Gotta go. Have a blessed Easter. Yeah, everybody have a nice Easter. Tomorrow's Good Friday. And then Easter Sunday's coming up. It's gonna be a beautiful day here. So I don't know. It's supposed to be beautiful though, so it'd be nice. Just had a friend pass, 62. Every day is a blessing. Yeah. That's true. It is. And it's kind of morbid to think that way, and then people don't like to think about their passing, but it happens. And the thing is, nobody knows when. So that's another reason I said when I was retiring that, hey, man, if you stay longer than you have to, you can't never get them years back. Those years are gone. Where if you go out a little too early, you can always get another job somewhere. Might not make what you made, might not have the position you had, but you can fix leaving a little early. You can never fix leaving a little late. It's kind of the way I looked at it. Every Friday is a good Friday. Yeah. So, well, listen, man, we're narrowing in on an hour. I appreciate everybody showing up. I hate I didn't let anybody know beforehand, but it was one of them weeks, and sometimes that happens to me. And this month we got 5 Thursdays, so I almost missed it again. I did that a couple of months ago. We had 5 Thursdays. I was on the 5th Thursday of the month. So when I was working at the string factory, they had to give us another holiday, and it was in August. So they give us the 3rd Thursday of August was a holiday. It's what we had worked out with them on the contract. That's how I come up with that 3rd Thursday mess. And again, like I said, it breaks up the month. It's kind of fun to mess around and talk to y'all guys and hear what you got to say. But it's that's how I come up with that. Because I went to work there and then they said it's holiday pay tomorrow. So what do you mean? What holiday is tomorrow? It's 3rd Thursday of August. It's holiday. But somehow they took a day away from them. So the next contract, they got it back. And it was just a random day they picked. So that's what I did here for 3rd Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. Eastern. But I appreciate everybody showing up, man. Y'all enjoy your Easter weekend. Sit down and enjoy your family. Go to Sunday service, sunrise service if you can. It's a special time of the day. I enjoy mornings every week. But wishing everybody bright and beautiful Easter. He is risen. I love down to earth people. So y'all happy Easter. Enjoy your anniversary. Yeah. Now, I don't want to work no more either, Angela, if I can help it. Good weekend, Steve. Good night, all. Happy Easter. Fish and hooks. Martin Cagle, thumbs up. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. I've seen some stuff you put out down there on fire. You're pretty good, boss. I enjoy them. I do. I really do. Some of your little, community posts Great, so Steve. Happy Easter, everyone. Brian, how you doing, boss? Wife just asked me today if I knew all my members. I said, I don't have no members. I have subscribers, two different things. She says, well, subscribers. I said, nah. I said, I don't know them all. I know some people. I know the ones that show up a lot, and I remember seeing you a while back. So, but y'all take care of yourselves, man. I appreciate you wasting your hour with me. And being a retirement bum is kind of nice when you can hang out with a bunch of other ones. But y'all take care, man, and we'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care. Let me see. End stream. The stream was stopping me today.